Good morning. A little fragmented this morning. My printer ran out of ink halfway through the script, so this is going to be fun. Well, welcome to the weekly multi-platform service of Tri-County Unitarian Universalists based in Summerfield, Florida. We acknowledge that we occupy the ancestral, traditional, and contemporary lands of the indigenous Florida people. I am Barbara Woodson, today's service leader. Hello to our members and friends, and a special welcome to those that might be visiting us for the first time. Unitarian Universalists are united not by a creed of shared beliefs, but by a covenant of shared values. We celebrate that we do not need to think alike to love alike. It is our respect and encouragement of each other's diversity of thought that truly binds us together. For the curious and the seekers, Unitarian Universalist values and covenant may be found on your order of service and at our website, triuu.org. Our newsletter, included in the timetable, can also be found there under news and events. Everybody just take a nice deep breath. You all look so serious. Oh, good, that was better. Phones, everybody got them muted? Yes? No ringing, no dinging? Okay, that's enough said about that. The deadline to send articles for our Tri-UU newsletter is coming up. Please send items to Marie Lujanik by this Tuesday, September 23rd. You're invited to participate this Friday, September 26th, from 5 to 7 at the home of Eileen McCabe and Tom Murphy for a UU and U gathering, a gathering that allows us to socialize in an informal setting. There is more information and a sign-up sheet on a table behind the AV station. Contact Eileen McCabe or Andrea Coburn if you have questions. I was told this morning that the food pantry will accept paper towels and toilet paper. I did not know that. So if you're like me and you go to Sam's or Costco or BJ's and you've got them stashed in every closet and drawer in your house, you can lighten the load. Today, we'll welcome those who attended last month's new to UU class and then decided to become members of Tri-UU. If you couldn't attend that class and are curious about when the next class will be offered, it will be on Tuesday, November 4th from 10 to 12:30. There's a sign-up sheet on the table by the bookcases in the back of the room. If you have any questions, please ask Helene Kirschbaum, the lady with the blue top and her hand raised. After today's service, we will have our monthly bagel breakfast. Please stay and join us for food and fellowship. The reason we changed the date for our bagel breakfast is because next Sunday, we will have a special blessing of our animals. All critters, that's where the printer faded up, should be on leashes or in a crate or cage. Accidents do happen, so please bring up supplies with you. This is for the animals only. Pictures of our beloved animals, alive or past, will also be welcomed. I have one more announcement, and I know Helene is looking at me, but welcome Jake and Diana Bishop back from Michigan. This concludes our announcements, and as we now begin the service proper, we will recite our mission statement. Please join with your voice as we recite together. We reunite in religious community to seek spiritual growth, live with integrity, and serve with compassion. Our chalice leader today is Pat Felton, who also has one important announcement. We invite those of you joining us on Zoom to light your chalice at home. She's a new LLC member.
Oh, you're supposed to. Before I light the chalice, I have one sentence, says Helene. It's a very big little announcement, or a little big announcement, whichever We may be a day late, but we aren't even $1 short on our pledge drive, because due to the pledges by our most recent new to UU classes, thank you very much.
We can't hear you if you don't get a hold of
I know, I'm sorry. We have officially exceeded our ambitious but totally honest pledge goal of $190,000. It was 46% over the previous year, and it was a miracle. With that in mind, let's light the chalice with these words. Community is much more than belonging to something. It is about doing something together that makes belonging matter. By Brian Solis.
Tell us how you really feel, Pat. Okay.
This morning, we've tried to do something a little different. We were going to have the entire congregation sing the prelude. So the choir will be singing, and the congregation, the words are up there. Feel free to join in and dance, and sing with everyone else. And if you'd like to dance, go ahead and dance.
Stan, this is really with you.
Song Our opening words this morning come from Kristen Harper. This is Each Day. Each day provides us with an opportunity to love again, to hurt again, to embrace joy, to experience unease, to discover the tragic. Each day provides us with the opportunity to live. This day is no different, this hour no more unique than the last, except maybe today, maybe now, among friends and fellow journeyers, maybe for the first time, maybe silently, we can share ourselves. Come, let us worship together. Please rise again and lift your voice in song with me for our opening hymn, What Wondrous Love Is This? Yeah. Do you want them to stand now? Okay, stand. Our new members, please stand. So today we have no story, but some of your stories. We are celebrating our newest members.
Folks, I'm the membership chair. You've never seen me before, right? Am I not? I don't want to touch it.
Yeah,
I
don't.
feel so bad about it. I'm the membership chair, and you've never seen me because I am a Zoomer. So I come for the membership meetings, and I say hi, and I try to get to know your faces. Okay, let me read my script. The entry of a person into Unitarian Universalist membership is always a special day of celebration for the community. But membership is not to be entered into lightly. It marks a covenantal relationship, a solemn pledge on all our parts to work together in a deep promise of mutuality.
Covenantal expectations are summed up in the 4 P's of Unitarian Universalist membership. We expect your presence. Be here when you can, for your spirit adds to the richness of our life together in this beloved community. We expect your participation. Engage in the tasks of maintaining and fulfilling the mission of this democratic community, remembering that we are dependent only on ourselves as we work to realize our vision. We expect your pledge of financial support. Our money is used as a witness to our values and supports the programs that will enhance our influence as we do the work of nurturing our spirits while helping the world. And we expect your practice. Living the values of Unitarian Universalism requires nurture and attention. A spiritual practice will help expand and deepen your own faith as it will impact the lives of those with whom you share our values. Membership involves a covenant to live up to these expectations. Unlike a contract, a covenant persists even when it is broken. Whatever our failing, our ultimate promise is to begin again in love, to recommit to the ideals we have promised to pursue.
The people you are about to meet have attended a class introducing them to Unitarian Universalism. By signing the membership books, they have indicated their wish to become members in the Tri-UU community, thus beginning their journeys identifying as Unitarian Universalists. To help them find a place within this community to express their passions and contribute their time, talent, and treasure, I'll let Helene tell you a little bit about them.
Aaron Coleman, who uses the pronouns he, him, and they, is from all over Florida. He's a new UU who now lives in Summerfield. Aaron is very interested in the ethical uses of technology, LGBTQ rights, and in figuring out what to do next in life. At Tri-UU, he hopes to be his true, bisexual, bipolar, and honest self among a group of people who accept and show him acceptance. Aaron considers himself an open book. Please don't clap at the end. It's too many otherwise. Thank you.
What a good problem to have.
Karen Fletcher grew up in Northern Virginia. She's worked as a psychotherapist in different settings throughout her career, including a maximum security prison, a community services board, and private practice. She found her true calling working in a public school system with adolescents and their parents, helping them navigate their lives and relationships in a world sometimes void of understanding. Karen enjoys reading, quilting, cooking, working with children, and has a lifelong interest in politics and social justice. She's delighted to have found her tribe at Tri-UU and to be part of a welcoming community that is bound by shared values. Karen lives in the Villages with her husband, T, and their lovable cat, Dory. Michael Gelman was born in the Bronx and has been a UU at different congregations. He and his wife currently live in the Villages. Michael holds graduate degrees in business, historic preservation, and library information science. He's currently in the process of restarting his historical research business. At Tri-UU, he's hoping to develop and sustain caring friendships and learn from others. Michael's very interested in environmental and social justice. Ask him about the One Health movement. I had to look that up. Phyllis Gelman, born in Baltimore, has attended previous UU congregations. She has a degree in early childhood education and served newspaper advertising for many years. Phyllis lived in Israel for 9 years. For fun, she loves to read mystery novels. At Tri-UU, Phyllis hopes to make friends and is very interested in social justice work. Marcia Sturgill moved to the Villages from Michigan 4 months ago. She's excited to join us because the shared values of Tri-UU resonate with her profoundly. All are accepted and embraced for who we are and where we are spiritually. based upon compassionate concern for all without exception. Marcia gratefully embraces Tri-County Unitarian Universalists as a source of balm for her soul, and she rejoices at becoming a part of this loving community. Thank you. Rose Merkel is originally from West Virginia and now lives in Ocala with Glenn. She's also a new UU. Rose enjoys spending time with her family, children, and grandchildren. She also enjoys decorating with and arranging paintings. After retiring, she became very active in local art clubs and displayed her paintings. Here at Tri-UU, Rose hopes to use her talents and abilities as she's able and to become part of our Tri-UU family. She also wants to worship, learn, and grow in our religion. Thank you. Glenn Merkel is originally from New York State. He's a new UU and presently lives in Ocala. Having been a middle school band director for 36 years, he's interested in everything musical, especially playing jazz piano. Glenn hopes to become part of our Tri-UU family and to help the church thrive as his time and talents allow. He also looks forward to learning and growing as a person by trying to live out the beliefs of our religion. Constance Rademacher, she couldn't be here, so picture, was born in DC and lived in the Washington area until she married Rick 50 years ago when she moved to Ohio. They moved to the Villages in 2017. A former Unitarian and Methodist, she's trying to marry the two traditions to practice what has always been there anyway. She's thankful for the welcome she's found in this congregation. And in the back, he doesn't want to be on camera, so. Calvin Groover, who is a trans man and uses the pronouns he, him, was born in South Florida. His parents moved to the Ocala area when he was 4. He lived here for 15 years. Then in a span of 5 years, he moved to Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, and then North Carolina, where he remained for 20 years. After returning to Florida last year, he struggled to find his way here. Our welcoming presence here at Tri-UU has given him hope for an accepting community and spiritual family. Calvin is open to any questions you may have for him in a one-on-one setting. And now you may clap.
Thank you for allowing us to begin to know you better. And now, do you choose to enter into the covenant on ministry? Is it
There
okay?
we go.
It's an awkward position for me. Thank you for allowing us to begin to know you better. And now, do you choose to enter in the covenants our minister has named? Do you freely offer your unique gifts to our beloved community? Do you pledge to support this community as far as you are able with your presence, your participation, your Unitarian Universalist practice, and your financial contribution? Please answer, we do. Good job. This congregation in turns makes promises to you with the words appearing on the screen. Everybody with me? Unitarian Universalists welcome you into our covenant. In gratitude, we accept the unique gifts you bring to our beloved community. We are thankful for your pledge of your presence, your participation, your Unitarian Universalist practice, and your financial support of our community. We pledge to support you and your families with friendship, goodwill, and respect.
We welcome you into this ministry of this congregation. The light of your life has strengthened our beacon to the world. shining the healing message of our free religion to all those who are yearning for a safe place where reason and love unite in the search for truth and meaning. In token of this great day of membership, we will extend you the right hand of fellowship. You gonna come after with the books? Certificate to make it awkward? We're so glad to have you all. This is just keep shaking hands and moving along. I think there's just one there. Okay. Now, as we move deeper into our service, you may be seated. Thank you so much. Let us turn inward to the sorrows and concerns we all experience in our life's journeys. There are 3 bowls of stones of different colors representing the gratitudes of joy, the grief of sorrow, and whatever feeling you're having related to your concerns. After those present have placed stones in the water, our ushers will place stones from each of the bowls into the water on behalf of those who are not present in the building with us and those who have chosen not to or who are unable to come forward. Those online are invited to type into the chat to express what is on your heart. When all the stones have been mingled in the water, we will take a moment for silent meditation or prayer. You may now come forward. How are you? I'm fine.
We will now receive an offering. If you're visiting us for the first time, please do not feel obligated to give. You are our guest, and we are happy to have you. This is the time in our service when those who wish to make some monetary contribution to our congregation's vision and mission give to support this community and its outreach. If you are putting cash in the basket that you want credited to your pledge, please put the cash in a brown envelope with your name on the front. Envelopes are available on the table at the back of the sanctuary. I invite the ushers to come forward.
Is it not working at all? I know it was working before. Okay. This is The Grout by Marcus Hartleaf. The Unitarian Universalist congregation where I served as an intern, he writes, made a mosaic tree of life the summer before I arrived. Congregants of all ages came together to craft the tree's leaves using bits and pieces of broken ceramics, jewelry, glass, and stone. There are many precious personal items in the tree, including fragments of the Berlin Wall, a father's watch face, pieces of great-grandmother's china, and a key to the front door of a loved home. Like the members of the community that brought them together, each part is imbued with memories and meaning. Each fragment holds a piece of truth. Unitarian Universalists are mosaic makers. We are a people who bring together the broken pieces of our histories and the shining pieces of our seeking, and piece by piece create a mosaic religion. Our tree of life is found in the stories of our living tradition. The bead from a transformational moment of worship at a youth conference. The bit of paper stamped with a blazing emblem of the Unitarian Service Committee that saved lives during World War II. The button or patch on a backpack that proudly proclaims the first justice issue that lit our souls on fire. But our mosaic making tells another story too, one that is often more difficult to see, one that is essential to the purpose of religious community, one that lies not in the beautiful and broken bits and pieces, but in the grout. Grout, that chalky, gritty stuff that is squeezed between the cracks of tiles. In a mosaic, the grout holds the image together, unifying disparate pieces into a whole. The grout of a community takes years to lay and settle. Grout happens in board meetings and committee meetings and endless emails and the slow-moving institutions. It is in potlucks shared by neighbors, a ride to church, and coffee in the social hall after worship. While the folks who show up for church only on Christmas and Easter will hopefully enjoy the beauty of the mosaic they find, they may never know the power of the grout that holds us through all seasons of life. We help make the grout when we learn each other's names and when we reach out across generational divides. We help to make the grout when we show up on Sunday morning without having checked first to see if we're interested in the sermon topic. When a newborn arrives to be blessed by the community, it is the grout that enables us to welcome them. And it is in the grout that we rest when we gather to grieve and memorialize a beloved one who has died. Hold us, O grout. Gather us in through time and space and make all our broken pieces whole in community. In our multiplicity, make us one. From each of our jagged edges, give us the shape of a communal beauty. Thank you. Thank you. Whew. In 10 days, I will be celebrating an anniversary. It will have been 19 years since I found my way to a Unitarian Universalist congregation for the first time. October 1st, 2006. A few years ago, I had a moment of full circleness at around this time of the year. I was participating in a spiritual deepening program called Wellspring. Wellspring is part covenant group, part education, as the topics of discussion relate to a designated theme. I'd been reading about earth-based traditions and their intersections with Unitarian Universalism. When I went to check when the handout had been written, the date was next to the author's name, and at that moment I recognized it. Probably about 20 plus years ago now, I befriended an older man when I was attending Al-Anon and other meetings. He encouraged me to attend a UU church, knowing that I was having a deepening call for connection with a spiritual community. Go to the UU church, he said. I really think they're your people. He was confident about this because his sister was a UU minister, and her name was the one on the handout I had just read. Unitarian Universalism is a small faith, and our clergy numbers are also notably small. In a 6 degrees from game, we're probably all only one person, 2 tops, away from knowing just about anyone else. But I'd never met this woman or heard her name referenced, not that I'd sought her out. And yet, there she was, among the people who had been a part of how I came to this faith, around the time that I had probably given in and looked up service topics on the local congregation's website before I knew better, to decide which service to attend 19 years ago. The moment made me feel connected in a new way, like my sense of belonging had reached a new peak. There are lots of ways we can explore belonging. When I was in seminary, we were always having to do these icebreaker and team building exercises. They helped us find ways to connect with each other in more than superficial ways. During one of these days, our set of questions was for us to name the things that we were from. So who were we from? What food were we from? What sound were we from? And so on. Now, this was like 11 years ago, so I'm not sure what I said then. But what I can tell you now is that I am from the smell of pools in the summer and cocoa after shoveling in the winter, the sound of trains in the night, the trees changing color in the fall, the taste of blueberry muffins, especially the Jiffy Mix kind, but not always. I am from white and middle-class parents, both white and blue-collar, and from working-class people who I worked alongside for many years. I am from academia, too, where I've spent quite a bit of time pursuing my education. I am from international communities and multi-faith communities. I am from grandparents and stepfamilies and aunts and uncles and cousins. I am from lake effect land, where some sports teams do well and others live into the promise that there's always next year. A sense of belonging can only be formed when we know all of who we are from and what we claim, as well as whom and what we are claimed by. This doesn't happen in a singular event or action, although those can help deepen or affirm the connection, but happen in a series of events or actions. The coming together of the gems and the grout, holding each other over time. We share the precious moments and the humdrum bits that carry us through most of our days. I have belonged to people and to places. I have never belonged to a corporation, though I have belonged to organizations. I have belonged to congregations as a member, as a director of religious education, an intern, an affiliated minister, and as a minister, and I have belonged to my colleagues of all kinds. Belonging is not inherently connected with blood, although it can be. It is always connected with choice, though, our claiming of the people and things and places we hold in our hearts and minds and bodies, and which we are held by. The holding or belonging isn't always equal for all things or all people, but that doesn't mean that it's not there or true. Often when we talk about belonging in congregations, we think of membership, probably not aided by today's new member welcoming ceremony, but that's not what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about what it means to belong in the way that our hearts know. This can be about membership, but it doesn't have to be. Last month, I read a book titled Belonging Without Othering: How We Save Ourselves and the World. Y'all, I was so excited. It's long and more on the academic side, and I was looking forward to getting some ideas. It's a good book, and I did get some ideas, but no answers. I guess we have to figure it out ourselves. The authors of that book argue that the problem of the 21st century is the problem of othering. Othering is a persistent and recurring problem in our world that organizes or informs nearly every major problem on the planet, from territorial disputes, sectarian violence, military conflict, the spread of disease, displacement and genocide, to hunger and food insecurity, and even climate change. They continue, we define othering as a set of dynamics, processes, and structures that consciously or unconsciously denies or fails to accord full and equal membership in society, as well as human dignity on the basis of social group affiliation and identity, and therefore tends to engender marginality and persistent inequality across all the full range of human differences based on group identities. Belonging is a deep human need. We are, however independent and solitary we might believe ourselves to be, social creatures and we truly can only know ourselves by being in relationship with others. Belonging then is necessary in part because this is one way that we know ourselves. Belonging tells us who we can rely on in times of hardship and difficulty, who we might turn to when we want to celebrate or mourn. In our minds, belonging helps us know who our we is. But when paired with othering, which happens often and increasingly in this political climate, belonging becomes exclusionary. This is often when belonging is identity-based, based on race, ethnicity, gender, sexuality, citizenship, religion, political affiliation, whatever. It's the ways that we either self or socially segregate based on beliefs, practices, what we look like, and so on. Now, othering isn't inherently problematic. Being able to distinguish ourselves from one another can, at times, help keep us safe, for example. But we in the US, and I suspect much of Europe and probably other places as well, in these last couple of decades, have taken it and made it far more poisonous for us all. Our communities have eroded over the generations, not necessarily the infrastructures, but the sense of community among us, the sense of shared identity connected to a place and the people who are our most literal neighbors. This has happened for so many reasons: the changing demographics of urban and rural and suburban life, women in the workforce, the availability of air conditioning, thank goodness, and homes not having big front porches, people living in communities different from where they work, resulting sometimes in long commutes, and the list goes on. And media and politicians play off of our sense of separation from each other, the way they make us angry in order to engage us with their platforms. They have monetized us with our clicks and comments, and polarization keeps the money rolling in while we look at our neighbors with suspicion and distrust. All the while, they're making profits off of our emotions, pushing our buttons, turning us further from each other. When we use our identities to other each other, and we all do this, you guys have heard me do this from right here, we are helping nurture this dysfunction, this separation. We see this now in the ways that trans people and immigrants specifically are being targeted by those in power, as well as with the killing of Charlie Kirk, the way that Republicans were calling for all sorts of harm to Democrats before the suspect was even apprehended. I am caught between wanting to uphold my beliefs and values and recognizing that what is happening, the state of this country, clearly is not working. I've discerned enough that I recognize I want our congregations to remain a safe enough space for marginalized and oppressed people, and we cannot have people espousing hate in them. My hope is always, even more now, that people will come into our spaces and think, they are really kind, and I felt seen and cared for, even if they also leave feeling like we're not their people. Both things can be true at the same time. I believe very much in the adage I learned in 12-step rooms about living in a way that others want what you have. Maybe we can change some hearts and minds with our love. It may not fix the world, but it's a start. Belonging happens over time. Every year at least once. I'll go through a really busy period where I lose track of the days. My dad will call me and say, "Hey, I hadn't heard from you in a while, so I thought I'd check in." He always says he hadn't heard from me in a while, even if it's only been 2 days. I apologize and often ask what day it is, trying to figure out when I'd spoken to him last. And he always says the same thing. No need to apologize. It goes both ways. I hadn't called you either. This is one way that I know that we belong to each other, not because we are father and daughter, but because we hold and care for each other and have a shared understanding of what it means to be in relationship, that we will look out for each other, think about each other, keep connected to each other. Belonging is about that feeling of being heard, seen, and affirmed. Belonging often is thought of in terms of our relationships with each other and with groups and organizations, including workplaces, schools, and others, but also has to do with our relationship with ourselves. The state of this country is such that we have a long way to go to healing what we have become, of finding our way back to each other. During the Jewish High Holy Days, which begins tomorrow evening, every year Jews reflect on the ways that they have sinned, the ways they have missed the mark of expressing God's love, the way they have failed to turn toward each other, toward themselves, toward family and neighbors, and failed to keep in right relationship. It is a time of deep prayer, repentance, and apologizing. It is an effort to make relationships whole again, or at least to begin the process of healing. Though few of us here are Jews, I find this practice every year to be a difficult and soulful one. It is a way to hold ourselves accountable and hold one another accountable for our words and deeds as we seek to make a better world together. I also appreciate this practice because everyone participates. It's not for these folks or those folks. It's for everyone. It's a laying bare of our shortcomings and failures and trying to do better. It makes for an equality in the community and a sense of vulnerability. This can make the we not us versus them, but everyone is us. Everyone is part of the we. Because of this ritual, then, everyone begins the new year with joy and sweetness for different and hopefully better possibilities. The vulnerability of this practice creates a foundation of trust among those in the community. Trust is a vital element to developing a sense of community among and between individuals and within cultures. Openness is another, as related to vulnerability. We need to be willing to be known as our full selves, to tell our stories, to share our awkwardness, to care and be cared for. This is important because just as we can't create inclusive communities once and we're done, we don't create belonging once for another and then we're done. We do it with each interaction we have, both the beautiful and the challenging. It's a practice we keep every day. That's how we become the grout. That grout we form over days and years is hard to let go of and cannot simply be transferred elsewhere. It takes time to develop. Having people we belong to and who belong to us is what makes transitions, challenges, hardships, but also our joys and celebrations feel less lonely and more hopeful. Knowing that we are held is what makes the mosaic possible. Our time is brief, and all we are asked to do is give of ourselves. And so I bring us back to the words used to open this service from Kristina Harper. Each day provides us with an opportunity to love again, to hurt again, to embrace joy, to experience unease, to discover the tragic. Each day provides us with the opportunity to live. This day is no different, this hour no more unique than the last, except maybe today, maybe now, among friends and fellow journeyers, maybe for the first time, maybe silently, we can share ourselves. Let us together make the world anew, one word, one song, one hug, one invitation, one patient moment at a time. May we reweave our we's to include more tomorrow than we do today. If you would please rise and lift your voice in song with me for our closing hymn, Building a New Way.
Okay, Pat Felton will now read our chalice extinguishing message.
From Dr. Brene Brown. True belonging doesn't require that we change who we are. It requires that we be who we are.
I invite anyone who's just begun to visit with us and who wishes to do so to introduce yourself. Please raise your hand and an usher will bring a microphone to you. Anyone? Okay. If you'd like to receive regular communications on upcoming Tri-UU events, please take and fill out a guest card, which will be available at the door. Do we have somebody? Oh, hi. Well, you're not new.
No, I'm not new. I'm from Zoom. My Zoom partners, they would like to be here, I'm sure, if they could, or maybe not. But it was really wonderful to be here with you.
Good to see you, Claire. And I see Michael Connolly's back. I appreciate that. On November 4th, there will be a class for those wanting to know more about Tri-UU, November 4th. Please sign up at the table at the back of the room if you can't or don't want to, because we are UU people. Wait until then to ask your questions. Please see Andrea at the table. Andrea, after the service. For those of you who are new, the animal thing is great. If you want pet pictures, you may not know, you need to send them to Helene, right? Sure. Right, but if you're going to show them, they have to know how to send them, how to submit them. So they need to send them to Helene. They're wonderful. We're going to have to skip the reflections of the service.
Okay, we can do some.
We can? Okay. Reflections. I got one, actually. You know, I read a long time ago about when people divorce, first comes contempt, then comes ridicule and separation, and then comes you paint the other as evil. And this week in Facebook and on the press and from our president, I heard for the first time that Democrats were evil. I think we've entered into a new dangerous phase, but I loved your sermon, and I love the mosaic. So be careful out there. Anyone? Cindy.
What a wonderful sermon. And the grout is always the hardest part of the floor to clean, you know. I think of that all the time. But, you know, in addition to Rosh Hashanah this week, this is a special week because it's also the opening of the United Nations. And I used to take groups of students to the United Nations every year. And it was such a moving experience because the docents who would take you on the tours were these young people who knew more than most US citizens about the state of the world. They came from every country all over the world, and they would tell, they just were so informed about what was going on in the world. I remember asking at one point, well, how do you keep so informed? And they told me about UN publications. They also told me about UN Web TV, and you can get it on YouTube, and it's a wonderful way to see what's going on and what are the important issues in our world. I tune in whenever I can, particularly this time of year when the General Assembly is just gathering. All of the dignitaries are coming next week. The traffic will be a mess in New York City. But this week, when I turned in to the Security Council, and I saw that everybody on the Security Council voted to bring aid to the people of Gaza and to make sure they had the medical resources and to open up a humanitarian corridor, among other things. And the only country that othered, I think, those people was the United States. And I listened to her speech, and there was nothing that resonated with me in that speech. I hope you listen to it at some point. Sometimes as a country, we other countries. And these countries have a lot in common with us. They, the Sustainable Development Goals that the UN always puts forward is so important for every country in that assembly. and we other them. And so, this is one of the things I think we have to look at in ourselves. Why do we believe that our country is so much better than every other country in the world? Thank you.
Good morning. When I was an elementary school student, every Friday we would have an assembly where we would put on a white shirt, and it would sort of get stained because we all went home and had meatballs and spaghetti, and then tomato sauce would just drip over it. But at this assembly, we always sung, "No man is an island." But the thing is, it should be no man and woman and child should be an island. And relative to the whole nature of belonging in a world where social isolation is growing rampant, we need each other. And we all need to recognize that we're all going to have differences. We're all going to have opinions. But that's what makes the world wonderful, that we can all try to come together and meld all of those opinions and different attitudes and different ways of looking at things, because that's what really makes the world exciting.
Peg, did you have your hand? Nope. Okay. Anybody else? All right. Thank you all. Our closing words come from Melissa Carvel-Zemer. We have gathered in dedication to the proposition that beneath all our diversity, there lies a unity that binds us one to another, to the earth, and to the stars. We have gathered in witness. Let us take our witness out into the world.
Join us for our bagel breakfast and fellowship in the back of the room until 11 o'clock. If you want a bit more to eat and more time to visit, there's a sign-up sheet on the table near the bookshelves to coordinate with others who like to go out for brunch. The Zoom room will stay open for 20 minutes.